R&B music. Here is why, in my opinion, why R&B music is not dead, but it's also not really alive. And I'm going to get to that just a second. Before I even go on to that topic, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of Dez Talkz Podcast right here this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Hope you guys are enjoying your afternoon as much as I am. And honestly, you guys, this topic, it needed to be said because I've always asked this question to a lot of my friends, and some people say that, some of my friends are saying that it's not really dead, and then there's others saying that it is dead, and I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on it. All right, so here's what I think. Okay, it's sort of like in the middle. It's not dead, nor is it alive. And the reason why I say that is because it has gotten to a point in our world where rappers nowadays are basically R&B artists, and they do a lot of R&B music than what they do than the R&B artists is doing their own music. And I personally think that there are some R&B artists out there that makes great music, but then after that they turn into a different vibe, and then now it's back to where they used to be. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a quick example, right? We have a lot of artists out here that have a great R&B album and everything else, like such as Tank and Genuine and Tyrese and Maxwell and Robin Thicke, Justin Timberlake. I can go on. Then you got the current artists that's Ashanti, Giveon, who else is on here? Sammy. I got a lot of artists that's hitting that mark. But the thing is that they're not really getting that much attention. Besides Ashanti and Giveon, of course. But outside of them, who else do you really got besides the three people I just mentioned? You don't really have much R&B out here in these streets. It's either pop or hip hop. And the ones that are really R&B, they've either switched to pop, like The Weeknd did, or they just be underground. You see what I mean? It's like a lot of R&B artists, or back in the day R&B artists, that do a fantastic job making new albums and stuff. But then you got people like Genuine that constantly goes out here, do these, concerts and whatnot, singing ponies, singing the same song over and over again. And I'm sorry, I can't listen to Genuine any longer. Because every time I see this man's up in his 50s, going on in his 60s, and he's still singing the same song over and over again to these grown-ass women that only want to go to the concert because it's Genuine. And Genuine hasn't dropped a new album in a long time. Ever since he dropped that one album with the song Last Chance on it, that was basically the last time we ever heard a new album from him. So I really wish that he would have dropped a new album at some point. You know what I mean? If Ron Isley, being 80-something years old, or 70 or 80 years old, and he's still making albums, how come Genuine, who is getting close to 60, can't make an album? That's personally my question that I need to figure out. How can Ron Isley, who is old as hell, make an album, but Genuine can't do nothing? At least with Ron Isley is actually bringing back R&B. He's trying to bring back R&B. You know what I'm saying? You got Tank, you got Ron Isley, of course, I mentioned Ashanti and Giveon and Sammy, and you got Music Soul Child out here. We can't forget him. We definitely can't forget Music Soul Child. I've been a fan of Music Soul Child for a while now. My first song to listen to him was Teach Me How to Love. That was one of my favorite songs. And then you got Chris Brown, of course, the king of R&B, Jacquees. You got all these people in here that are trying to bring in R&B. And I remember they had a big talk about a couple years ago who was the king of R&B. I personally feel like it's Chris Brown. I said that numerous times before, but Chris Brown is definitely the king of R&B. in my opinion. It's Chris Brown number 1 and Tank number 2. But my whole point out of all this situation is R&B is just straight in the middle now. These new artists don't really, they have the R&B feel, but it got that little hip hop feel to it too. I don't know. It could be like that. Like it has that. It's like what I said. Got the R&B feel to it, but it got the hip hop feel to it. Hip hop beats with R&B lyrics, basically. Then you got others like Mo3, RP Mo3, and PNB Rock, RP to him, and many other artists who was rapping or singing or something like that. When they start singing to these trap musics, and that's not really necessary R&B. You know what I mean? And plus, if you really think about it, a lot of these R&B music that do be out, or rarely be out, it's not really about love. It's just mostly about sex. If you think about it. It's either sex or heartbreak. One of those two. It's not really about love. And that's the thing. I feel like if we could just bring in some actual artists, even when they're from like the underground or, any other place that you could possibly think of. If we can actually get these people in and they just start singing about love, I feel like things will be so much different. It'll really give you that aspect where I'm thinking like, okay, maybe R&B could come back. And then on top of that, what's even worse out of all this situation, Tank honestly just retired. He recently retired after, he was going through, his stuff, the way he's going through and whatnot. And then as soon as he retired and dropped his last album, I was like, well, damn. Tyrese ain't gonna drop an album no more. He dropped that years ago. He can't do that anymore. He's more focused on becoming an actor than he does with his music. And now here comes Tank retiring and dropping a really good album for the last time. It's just like, where is R&B really, really going? You know what I'm saying? It's just honestly confused. It comes and it goes. We don't know. I damn sure don't know. Because every time I get on the radio, I listen to the radio, it's never about really R&B. And when you do turn on the radio, they always want to put in these old school R&B musics that only older people can remember. Some of us young kids definitely remember, but not all of it. You know what I'm saying? They put in, of course, Robin Thicke, of course. You put in Tank. You put in Bobby Brown. You put in who else? Who else could I think of? Boyz II Men. You know what I mean? It's all these people that they got on here. Some of us remember, some of us don't remember. And I really, really wish they could honestly just bring in, new upcoming artists who is very dedicated to hip hop, not hip hop, R&B. Because I've actually listened to R&B, these new artists that's like really, that can really sing, and they can sing really good. Like I got a whole playlist on my SoundCloud right now as we speak. Literally on my SoundCloud, you can literally hear every single new artist is on my timeline. Like Noah, I did a reaction to him on one of my YouTube videos. Who else I did? I did Trey Waves. This guy named Trey Waves. He's really cool. Sammy, of course. Another guy named Jacob Lattimore. I listen to a lot of these guys, and these guys are so talented. But they don't really get the recognition that they deserve. And the recognition that they do deserve, they get like a little small fans. Like small fans that, like, of course, they listen to their music because it's on their platform, on their social media page. But they're not listening on the radio-wise. You know what I mean? They're not listening to on the radio. Which is honestly messed up. And let's not forget, like, with the male R&B artists, what about the females as well? We gotta get some other female on there, outside of Ashanti or Normani. She did a song with Cardi B last year. Outside of her, who else? Okay, you got Jhené Aiko. Okay, that's a good pick. We got her, Her. That's a great pick. She is definitely good. I listen to her music a lot of times. She got some vibes on her, like vibes. And we definitely can't forget Jasmine Sullivan now. Come on now, Jasmine Sullivan, one of the most beautiful women in the industry. Come on now. Then you got Tiana Taylor or something. So you got, honestly, I hear more female R&B than the male R&B, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, who is really out here right now, outside of Chris Brown and Jacquees? I mean, who's really, really out there like that? Nobody can find August Alsina. So what the hell, like, who else are you going to really get? Think about it. Who else are you going to really, really get on the male side? The female side got more R&B vibes than the male. Every woman that I just mentioned have great vibes. Even Keisha Cole. Carrie Hilson, who I haven't seen in a long time. All the female... Hell, Chloe Bailey. With her fine ass. Yes, Chloe Bailey. Even she got some vibes. That's why I say a lot of these women that I just mentioned, they got more vibes than the male. They got more R&B feel than the man, which is honestly crazy. It should be go for both sides, but it's mostly on the female side than the male. That's why I say it's not dead, but it's not really alive yet. If there was some actual, like, you know, like some men, like a lot of men and a lot of women doing the R&B vibes and they're singing about love and all this other stuff, then yeah, I wouldn't be sitting here saying that, you know, R&B is not dead or alive. I was literally just saying it's actually alive. It's actually alive. We just got to keep on putting it out there, put it out on the radio, put it out on social media. This is more vibes. So that's why I personally think that R&B right now, as we speak, with the current platform, with the current music that we in, it's not dead, but it's not alive. Personally, for me. But I'm gonna let you guys answer that question. I'm putting a Q&A at the end of this episode. It's gonna be either on Spotify or Anchor, depends on where you're listening to. And I want you to answer the question: do you guys think it's alive or do you think it's dead? Let me know in the Q&A. On the Spotify Q&A. But that's going to be the end of this video, guys. That's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to Dez Talkz Podcast. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.